Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 6400 Southwest Taylor's Ferry Road here in Portland, Oregon. We're located on the rooftop. 4-inch cast iron vent is the point of access. My camera is sitting at the base of the vent here. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. Here at just 9 feet out, it transitions over to 4-inch concrete pipe. Looks like we do have some. My camera lens keeps getting dirty here, I apologize about that. But you can see on the top of the pipe here, there's some roots dangling down. They look pretty minor at this point, but they don't appear to be coming straight through the joint that's just ahead of them. So that could possibly mean that they have penetrated right through the sidewall of the pipe. And more roots here at about 13 feet out. So far they're pretty minimal. More here at 16 feet. They don't appear to be super aggressive roots, otherwise they'd be in big root balls. They've likely been that way for quite a while, as old as this house is. Regardless though, it's hard to predict what roots will do. The roots can grow to fill up a whole sewer line and clog it up. So we've now hit. Oh. There is some standing water there. I'm not sure what's causing it. If it's debris sitting in the flow line. We'll check all this out on the way back. More roots here at 33 feet. Again, pretty small ones. More roots here at 45 feet. And looks like here at 48 feet as well. And when we get the water drained out, we'll have a clearer look at some of this stuff. The pipe here looks like it's in pretty rough shape. But you can see there's a lot of aggregate rock showing through. That is a sign there's a lot of wear on the line. And here at 54 feet out, we have reached the terminus. Well, with as much root intrusion as there is in the line, it's pretty much throughout the entire sewer line, and the concrete itself is in pretty rough condition in many places. There's a lot of aggregate rock showing through, which tells me that the pipe is thinning out quite a lot. You can almost see entire rocks showing through in the concrete there. At this point in its existence, I would recommend a update. Either by sleeving or traditional excavation. Sleeving might be the better option here. The vast majority of the line has grade to it. There's one spot where there is not proper slope and grade. I'm going to get the water turned off here and try and map the line out as best I can. Alright, I just located the camera head. It's just beyond the rear fence line. Line does head across the backyard. I'm going to try and reel it back here a few feet so I can get it on this side of the property It's worth checking on to make sure that that's an easement and not possibly, this does not look anything like a party line here, but whenever they go out the rear, it's always worth pulling records to make sure of that. I'm going to pull back to right about here. We do have some minor roots coming in through here as well, so the line at this point it's still kind of functioning. They're for the most part, the water and everything is getting to where it needs to go. It's just in very rough shape. There's roots throughout the whole line, and it's just at a point in its existence where it needs to be updated. Sewer lines just get old. So I'm going to go try and mark here. If I can locate this spot, I'll put a green X here, and then I'll start working my way across the backyard. Line still appears to be beyond the fence line here, so I'm going to keep coming back. Yeah, I think I found it here at the rear of the fence line. It's right amongst a huge bunch of bushes. It's very tricky to locate here, so I'm going to keep pulling this thing back about 10 feet to get beyond those. I put a couple markings. One is right next to the fence. The other is kind of in the middle of the bushes, but off to the left side. If you're looking at the fence line from the back of the house, the line's coming up the kind of the left side of this big bunch of bushes that are back here. Very difficult to locate. So those markings that are inside the bush and at the fence line, they're rough. I can't get an accurate locate because I don't have enough room to get on top of the camera itself. So hopefully here now we'll be on the bushes, and I would guesstimate that about 10 feet or so, maybe 12 to 15, is beyond the fence line back there. And right here is where the pipe has totally settled, and it looks like there's a big hole through the sewer pipe here as well. So I'm going to locate this spot right here. This is a pretty large problem, and I can see roots coming through. So this part right here, it can't be sleeved. It'll have to be dug down to, but line only looks like it's a couple feet deep, thank goodness. So I'm going to go locate here. I'll put a green X here, or a white X, I'm sorry, I'm using white paint. Okay, we're in the about 3 feet or so from the big giant thing of bushes in the back. Interestingly enough, you can see right here on the side of the screen where there's a big hole in the pipe on the right side. Where I've marked is directly on top of this. There's a rat tunnel. There's a hole right in the middle of the yard that leads right to that hole there on the side of the pipe. So that is most definitely a rat tunnel that's come through there, and is likely allowing a lot of water to seep out into the ground around it. Obviously, there's a huge hole there. It's not a line that I would recommend babying along. It needs to be, or I would recommend highly that it be redone. So this is, let me push back out here real quick, sorry. And it looks like we've got another, I don't know if that's a tie-in there from the left side or another rat tunnel coming through. But here at 25 feet out, this is the first most accurate marking that I've made. The other ones are just rough, and we're at 2 feet deep here, very shallow. I'm going to do another marking about at 15 feet, and then one up close to the house. Okay, I've done another marking here, just a green line showing the direction the pipe runs. My locator's bouncing around a little bit. I'm getting closer to 3 feet deep here, so use some caution when digging. It might be off by a little bit. And I'm going to do my last marking right here at the cast iron transition. I'll mark this with a T. From this point here on out, from the cast iron all the way to the terminus, I do recommend replacing it due to the, it's a significant issue with the line. The concrete itself is very worn out and very thin. All the aggregate rock showing through. We've got roots intruding throughout the entire sewer line, and I've counted 2 different rat tunnels that have come through, and we also have where the line has essentially collapsed or sunken down into the ground there where that one rat tunnel was that I pointed out. So it's time to be updated. Okay, Okay, I did another marking here, and I'm getting closer to about 3 feet in depth. It was 2 feet 10 inches. I think that I got a 2-foot marking at that rat tunnel because so much of the dirt was excavated out. The locator is thinking that it's less deep than it really is. So right around 3 feet in depth is the, at least until you get to the bush, that's the depth of the line. I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera all the way out. I do recommend a rescope after the repair work to ensure that it was all done properly, there's proper slope and grade. You can actually see the white markings on the ground there. That T marking is the cast iron. That's where I think the repair should start. And it goes all the way over there through that giant set of bushes and beyond the fence line. At least that's what it appears to do. I'm unable to locate accurately once it gets into those bushes. So repair guys will have to do a little bit of hunting, but the whole line is in pretty much disrepair, so it needs to all be taken care of in my opinion.